Hi pregnant mums, this is Nisha from the 9 Month Club at www.the9monthclub.com. So in our last frequently asked question in this series, we're going to be talking about alcohol and what's the deal with alcohol during pregnancy. Now this can be a real worry for mums who have just found out they're pregnant, because often before we find out we're pregnant, we've had a couple of nights out, we know we've drank more than we should do, we've been drunk, or we've had more than a few glasses of wine, and we're scared it's going to affect the baby. Well, first of all, there is no recommended level of safe alcohol during pregnancy, but in these first few weeks, there's not really anything you can do about it. So there's absolutely no point in worrying. And so many people have been in this situation, and there's been absolutely no implication for the baby. So if it was the occasional night out and you had a couple of nights out before you found you were pregnant, then please don't worry about it. Okay, into the first trimester of pregnancy. Now, during the first 12 weeks of pregnancy, you should not consume any alcohol at all. So once you find out you're pregnant, please do not consume any alcohol at all, for two reasons. For the first reason, this is a really critical time for your baby. It's forming cells, and alcohol crosses the placenta extremely rapidly and damages your baby's cell formation. It can lead to long-term implications like learning disabilities, it can lead to birth defects, it can lead to premature birth and miscarriage. So no level of alcohol is safe during the first 12 weeks of pregnancy. Following that, once you move into the second trimester and your baby has got its foundations and you're past that okay mark, and you've had your scan, then you can introduce some alcohol into your pregnancy occasionally if you wish to. And it should really be reserved for special occasions like going out to a party or a social engagement, or something like that, where something something unusual is happening and you want to celebrate. Now, the recommended level of alcohol that is safe, well, I say safe, as I said, there's no recommended level, but this is what's considered to be okay for women to drink whilst they're pregnant, is 1 to 2 units of alcohol once or twice per week. Now, I would personally say once per week is the absolute limit, because alcohol has a lot of other implications apart from the fact that it may harm your baby, but we'll come to that in a minute. So 1 unit of alcohol is half a small glass of wine, and a small glass of wine is 125 ml. So that really is not a lot of wine, or 1 measure of spirits, or I think it's like a third or a quarter of a pint of lager or something like that. You'd have to check that one. So you can have 2 units, which is half a small glass of wine, which is 1 small glass of wine per occasion that you drink, so say once or twice per week. Now, if you're going to social engagements and if it's a party season and you've got a lot of things lined up, then it's a really good habit to get into to note down how much alcohol you're drinking. So not necessarily during the night, you don't want to be walking around with a notepad on you, but once you get home or the next day, note it down in your pad that you had 1 glass of wine that night, because what happens during pregnancy is we become very forgetful, and if there are a lot of parties all run into each other, it can be easy to think that the last party was maybe a week ago, and forget that it was only a few days ago, and then all of a sudden you've had more than your allocated number of units, and you're potentially going to harm your baby. So please note it down and make sure you keep a track of what you're drinking. Okay. Secondly, alcohol as it's related to you rather than just the baby and the potential damage to him. Alcohol is, first of all, it's a diuretic. It's going to dehydrate you, and during pregnancy you're probably already dehydrated. And the reason I say that is because during pregnancy, obviously the pressure on our bladder is a lot more than usual, and we are constantly running back and forth to the toilet. So our subconscious tells us not to drink so much, so that we have less frustration from running back to the toilet, and to ease the pressure off. Of course, it's not going to ease the pressure off because it's the uterus that's causing the pressures, but that's not what your subconscious tells you. So you are probably dehydrated anyway. If you add alcohol on top of that, you're going to dehydrate yourself even more, and that's going to have implications for the amniotic fluid. You're not going to have as much of it. It's going to have implications for your own performance and the way that your organs flush toxins, and the way that you process toxins and things like that. So alcohol's not a good idea because it's going to dehydrate you. So if you are drinking, you need to have 3 glasses of water per 1 unit of alcohol. So every time you have a unit, you need to follow with 3 glasses of water. Now, to let alcohol out of your system, you need to allow 1 hour plus 1 hour for every unit that you're drinking. So if you're going out for an evening and you're going to have a glass of wine, allow 1 hour between drinking your drinks plus 3 glasses of water, and then allow at least 3 hours before you drive a car or operate machinery or do anything like that you will need your reflexes for. Okay, and then lastly, alcohol is a sugar, so it's going to affect your hormones, and this is going to make you feel terrible. And it's funny how 1 glass of wine and of alcohol during pregnancy can make you feel like you've drank an entire bottle. You will feel it the next day. You will feel hungover from just 1 unit of alcohol, and you will feel queasy during the night and all these sort of things that you usually get with a hangover. And this is because of the sugar in alcohol. So it causes an insulin spike, and then insulin rushes in and tries to metabolize that sugar, and it's followed by a sugar crash, which is going to make you feel worse, because a sugar crash will generally make you feel nauseous, make you feel tired, make you feel irritable, all those things. So all of those things are going to be exacerbated because you feel that during pregnancy anyway. So you will feel 10 times worse having alcohol during pregnancy than you would have done pre-pregnancy, so bear that in mind. Now, if you are drinking, make sure that you eat with your alcohol, have a full stomach before you drink, eat with the alcohol. So if you're at a party, go grab the nibbles, do something like that, or have it with a meal, and make sure that you eat when you get in and when you wake up first thing in the morning. You may be feeling queasy, but you need to line your stomach and you need that food to get your blood sugar back up so that you can feel slightly better. So that's it, alcohol in a nutshell. I hope that sums it up for you. If you have any other questions, by the way, I haven't said this so far in the videos, if you have any other questions, please get in contact with me. At the bottom of this page, you'll see some links, some text links, saying the 9-month club community and the 9-month blog. Both of those places have comments boxes where you can contact me or get advice. So please, if you do have questions and you want them answered, and you maybe want another video done, just pop them in those comments